Alright, hello, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. So I stretched my legs and used the restroom, and I figured, well, the only other thing I feel like doing right now is, you know, jerking off or going to sleep, and I'm not tired enough to go to sleep, so I figured, just back-to-back recordings, why not? And let's press on and see what the IA are going to ask us. Different definitions for the word abode. Well, it's clearly those crystal cocoon-like things. Are they merely sleeping, huh? Unsettling, huh? It's not that different. The domiciles are all close by, and... Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles. Though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. You say they remain idle, but what of the work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If, in our idleness, we are struck by sudden inspiration, we arise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motal state, rest assured they would not object were you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of their crystalline domiciles to communicate. Okay. So we're gonna go cast our thoughts towards some domiciles. Attuning? No response. Okay. Oh, we can see the other scions. There's, I think that's Alphanot over there. You wish to speak? Very well, pray a moment if you would. Let's see. It's nevertheless surprising to see. Got like a little pond right here. I wonder if we can swim in it. Yeah! Oh, we can! I missed that on my first playthrough. I mean, I saw the pond, I just didn't jump into it for some reason, I guess. Okay. We'll check this one out and go talk to Grahatia. Strange moaning comes out, but soon subsides. Suppose they will appear as Kof Kuj does. Well, all the ones out in the desert look the same, except they're orange, so... Okay. See if we can't find the other scions before we wake the other one up. I'm not going to waste too much time on it, though. I don't think they're going to have too much interesting to say. But of course, now I see them, so... I might as well talk to them. Is it not strange they lack passion to research that which they desire above all else? If we are fortunate, the IA residing in these crystals will shed light on this contradiction. Well, sometimes living beings like to contradict themselves, like back in the end of January when my girlfriend said, "Hey, we should have sex more often so that it's easier for me due to your size." And I said, okay. And following that, we've had less and less and less and less sex to the point where we've basically, I don't think we've had sex this month. So that's highly personal, but just what I'm reminded of. And when it comes to contradictions. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when last I emerged? I can't even remember how to form a body. Or form to walk around. An interesting predicament. Kind of makes you wonder. They kind of have these eyes, right? They look sort of like a black mage. They're blinking. But, you know, if they're beings of energy, maybe they're actually the halos over the head of the ghost-like body that we see. If they fail to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not, there are no others who have need of these lodgings, and they will not provide a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Alright, we got some. May I introduce you to La Lac, Du Dik, and Nenij. It's been too long, Kovkuj. I dare say Satyr 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed. Until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course, the ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirement of scientific objectivity, lest that I bid them waken you. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms, the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kovkuj, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests? A matter of proper form? Ah, yes, so long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind. Still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Nenij. The archives have long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much. Or dolor, or whatever. Ah, of course, food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to the replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right. We duly invite you to join us in communal repasts, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. Speaking of, I'm actually kind of hungry. Like, for real. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. I don't know where you're gonna get ether in Dynamis Land, but okay. Guess they're supposed to be comprised of ether. Although I don't know exactly how they would be in Dynamis Land, but whatever. The word restaurant. Please absorb as much as you like. How are we exactly gonna do that? And of course, we're standing in like some sort of hexagonal shape. Less a meal and more of a ritual. Draw directly upon ether. Alrighty then. As meticulously, just as I had suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the ES homeworld, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amarot. However appearances may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Ah, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? We eat. You know, y'all said the word food earlier, so... Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake in your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail but wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? You flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the EA yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we could eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, there exist myriad hindrances to progress. The most confining of all was the flesh itself. Well, you say progress, but whenever anyone talks about progress or progressivism or anything, they never say what ideal they're progressing towards. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. These nerd bitches are making me tired. No, I'm kidding. It's actually because it's almost 4 a.m. Anyway, after long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. So, their entire race centered around the objective of the office of Fandaniel? If we could but achieve this, we believe that we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. That's not how anxiety works, but okay. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We have deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegia, or Elegia. Elegia would be like more poetic, because it'd be like an elegy, you know, like an end song for someone or whatever, a sad song. Like her master, Yeshtola seeketh the truth of creation. How will the truth of the Ea, who uncovered all only to desire the end, fall upon her ears? To define the laws of creation would have been no small feat, even for the Ea. Nay, having eternal life and hence no sense of haste would only have made it harder. Such tremendous drive for knowledge they once must have had. I struggled to reconcile it with the listless beings before us. Whatever answers they found, it did not bring them happiness. Happiness has to come from within, Grahatia. You may be intimately familiar with the problem, know it like the back of your hand, yet be powerless to solve it. In the course of my struggles, I have often been made keenly aware of this fact. I wonder, have the Ea never felt the same frustration? 'Tis true that a lack of knowledge can beget fear. Therefore, in theory, by acquiring all knowledge, it may be possible to attain peace. Nah, bro. Turns out knowledge is kind of overrated. But as Hyland told us, all those people who attempted to free their worlds from my flows met with failure. Okay, well, anyway, I'm just reminded of the Dark Souls 3 quote from the one of the Locust preachers. I find myself reminded of it quite often, frequently, watching streamers and some other people when this comes up, with like all-knowing characters or super smart characters or whatever, and it's, you know, one met the dark with learning, and in the end found their knowledge was wanting. The universe began without knowledge, and without knowledge will it end. Does this not ring clear and true? And then he says, you know, fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin. Right? And the whole premise of that, you know, is that, you know, there weren't any bookish types, you know, at the start of the universe. They just started. You know, no one knew anything. And there might not have even been beings to know stuff at the start. And when everything ends, there won't be anyone to know anything either. There won't be any knowledge. So knowledge is ultimately just a tool we use. You know, it's not the greatest or highest purpose at all. It just is. It's transitory, like a mortal. Don't you love how the Scions just keep meeting these, like, elder civilizations and being super fucking judgmental of them? The real reason we're the chosen ones is because we've been judgmental schmucks our entire lives. First we started with world city-state leaders, then world leaders. Here we are now judging entire civilizations, baby. Oh, Urianger wants to talk to us about shit. Okay. Okay. Gisuv. I really do love this zone, though. They really outdid themselves with the visuals. I love seeing, like, these magenta, violet, purple nebulas like all around us. The other dead stars and the semi-Euclidean landscape. Pray forgive me, my friends, but there is not to investigate. 'Twas but a pretense to speak in private. As we have established, here in Ultima Thule, those denizens of ruined stars are recreated in their twilight days. Yet one question doth arise in my mind. So faithfully formed are the simulacra that they believe themselves yet amongst the living. How dost thou suppose this is possible? Of course, she must have visited the stars of the dragons and the Ea before either race perished in their entirety. Thus could she make their emotions her own, and with them create more faithful simulacra than had she relied on any historical account. So too did I theorize, and upon that assumption consider how those two races may have met their demise. According to thine own tale, Meteon perceiveth the emotions of those nearby as her own, a heightened sense of empathy intrinsic to her nature as an intellectie. In the course of her star-faring journey, if she encountered beings who strongly desired a cessation of their existence, she would be powerless before that desire. Even as she possesseth the power to grant it, the power of Dynamis. 'Tis my supposition that, overwhelmed by their longing for death, Meteon did unleash Dynamis and ushered the dragons and the Ea unto their doom. Wow, so she killed him. Of course, such was not always the outcome. Full many stars did she find already lost to ruin. In order to create a terminus, however, the fervent desire for the end is essential. Therefore, should you struggle to find the way forward, pray ask yourselves this. In the place where you stand, whose is the soul that yearneth most desperately for oblivion? Why do you tell us this now? Ne'er again would I betray your trust. This pledge I did make to my comrades. In bringing thee into my confidence, I would remain true to my word. As for thee, let us consider it my fitting reward for the secrets I harbored for the Crystal Exarch. I once placed my faith in thy chosen path, walking at thy side, full knowing that we were bound for thy demise. I ask now that thou returnest the favor, and abide in faith as I fulfill mine own destiny. 'Tis indelicate of me, I know full well, and I can but beg thy forgiveness. Yet even if I must needs go to such lengths, I cannot well feign ignorance of the answer I have found within. The answer to the question, at what moment might I stand strongest? After all we've been through, I will say only this. Do what you must. Do what you must and see your conviction through. I shall, my friend, I shall. So basically, Urianger just told us straight up that when it comes time for us to find the way forward again, he's going to sacrifice himself to contest Meteon's will. And he's telling us this not because we need to know. It's more so that he can steel himself to do it. And perhaps also to prevent us from trying to be the ones to do it. Of course, he didn't take the other three into his confidence, so what if they try to do it? I don't know. It's getting kind of tense though. With every scion that's come with us, they're getting unmade and becoming the land and the air around us. Ishtola continues to be our quest completion NPC here.
Please continue. Tell us about this truth you discovered.
Oh boy. We're getting voice acted lines.
Very well. Bear in mind, however, that the purpose of this conversation is not to impart scholarly knowledge, for such requires that you comprehend the subject matter, which you will not. We will forego the intricacies of our scientific methodology and deal only with the conclusion, the end of our society and our world. We acknowledge, with regret, that your star is in the midst of the same panic-induced cataclysm that befell Deneb 3.
I thought y'all were on Seder 4.
As such, in order to avoid causing undue distress, we will refrain from explicitly stating how much time you have remaining.
You are entirely too kind. I pray you recount your tale as you see fit.
In the beginning, the universe was but a tiny particle. Then suddenly, this particle began to expand. Having remained entirely in the bounds of your star, the phenomenon may be difficult for your kind to grasp. But this expansion has since continued unabated. Speculating that the universe could not grow indefinitely, we sought to learn what might occur, and made a worrying discovery. The stars will continue to spread apart, as will their finite thermal energies. Eventually, all heavenly bodies will grow cold and freeze. No new stars will be born, and the universe will enter into an eternal ice age.
Wouldn't ice age be kind of like a misnomer? Because there would have to exist enough particles to make ice. But this is sort of like an inverted heat death of the universe thing. Our own understanding of science in real life is that scientists currently believe that the universe is actually has boundaries, that it's actually limited, and so there's a limited amount of heat energy to be put into it, and that every time any movement happens or any energy transfer happens, entropy is introduced into the system, which can be synonymous with heat, and that eventually entropy will approach infinity, and that the entire universe will essentially burn. But of course, this is just an assumption that human scientists have made, and this is the inversion of that. At least, I think that's the way it goes. I've never looked into it very much because I don't put much stock in it. I am personally of the belief that scientists, you know, they kind of get a big head when they do theories like that. They can't actually know for sure. They can know what their theories state, and they can make stuff seem true by binding it with mathematics. And by that I mean they set parameters for an equation, and they can solve the equation. But if the premise for the equation is inherently flawed, then they actually haven't solved for what's real.
In hopes of proving that this determination was erroneous, we scrutinized our research from all angles, even as we sought to avert the everlasting winter. The endeavor proved fruitless. So infamously so, in fact, that it became synonymous with vain effort. The universe as we know it would end, and there is no way to prevent it. Beneath the weight of this knowledge, our society stagnated. Though we had time still, it was a cold comfort. Why strive for anything when desolation is assured? When our wealth of wisdom, accumulated since the dawning of our kind, would be forever lost. No civilization would rise from our ashes. No scholar recover our knowledge. In silence unbroken, naught would stir. Intellect was once our pride. Overnight, it became our shame. Our works, monuments to futility.
Honestly, it doesn't sound like y'all are very smart.
Immortality, our greatest invention, became a source of suffering. Rather than suffer on, many chose to unmake themselves by means of etheric exsanguinators.
By the way, if you're not familiar with the term exsanguinate, it means to remove all of the blood from a body. And in this case, etheric exsanguinator would be to remove all of the aether from a being.
Etched upon these stones are the testaments of such souls. Though many left no words at all, thinking it a pointless gesture. Once we have obtained vessels of flesh, we likewise intend to vanish. If you understand this, understand aught of our tale, you will abandon your quest for knowledge. Ignorance truly is bliss. If you would cling to your illusory happiness, remain primitive and pure. It is the only way.
So that's your story. While I appreciate your advice, I will not heed it. Convinced though you may be of this truth, it is yours and not mine. Indeed, truth, I have ever believed is in the eye of the beholder.
That's stupid.
Are you suggesting that we have reached a faulty conclusion? That our science failed us?
Hardly. As you yourself said, the subject matter is beyond my comprehension. And that, I accept, is true. I do not possess the knowledge to prove or disprove your conclusion. In my mortal years, I doubt I could even approach the wisdom of the Air. But of one thing am I absolutely certain. I would not be happier in ignorance.
Wisdom isn't a synonym for knowledge, though.
Ishtola, no! You mustn't!
The most important lesson I've learned is that learning isn't simply passing one's eyes over words. Nay, 'tis when understood for oneself that knowledge attains its true value.
Well, yeah, how else would you apply it?
This is what has sustained me, driven me onward in joy and wonder, in anger and sorrow. The universe may end, and all may be for naught, but I will live as I always have. I will always seek out new knowledge, and no conclusion of yours, no matter how grim, can dampen my desire.
I suppose it is only to be expected. Their feeble minds cannot fathom the terrifying gravity of it all.
Well, we can be ended by being stabbed in the throat, so I mean, something so universally huge, it's kind of, you know, beyond the pale.
But worry not. We consider it our duty to enlighten you, and we will not stop until you grasp the full extent of our despair.
Keep calm and listen well. Though my body will soon dissipate, there may be a way to restore it. Azim's magic. So long as our souls remain, you can use it to summon us back.
Don't worry, Catgirl fanboys! She's not gonna really die for like the third time in a row.
But you mustn't, for it would mean losing our way forward. This I only reveal so that you can promise not to invoke the magic. We came here knowing what victory may cost. So press on, and do not look back.
I shall join thee. As subterfuge is not required, thou shalt not suffer for mine absence.
Riange.
Fuck, man.
My resolve hath never been as strong as thine. Full oft have I wavered in my decisions, and afterwards been stricken with regret. In spite of this, I may still stand with my comrades, supporting them as they attempt the greatest of feats. This truth I have learned in the course of our journey. And many though my shortcomings may be, I may also claim to excel in prophecies. My studies, into which have granted me the flexibility of mind needed to bend this malleable reality. Thus shall I hope that thou mayest have the strength to resist, and our comrades the strength to continue.
With you to urge us on, how could we possibly fail?
Basically, we couldn't think of an individual story for each of them, so we're just gonna get rid of 2 of them at once. Man. But yeah, at this point, the narrative just flipped us off. The writers just flipped us off and said, yeah, these sacrifices don't fucking matter. You're just gonna bring them back with Azim's magic. Don't worry about your cat girl waifu. No need to bat eyelashes. No need to feel sad. There is no actual danger to them. They'll be fine.
What's this? An extinguished civilization. Rekindled.
That's right. Our quest doesn't end here. We'll press on, and we will find you.
There. That's where you'll find me.
Is that another star?
Of the stars we visited, most were already devoid of life. And where there was life still, the inhabitants wished for death. But even death, we learned, isn't truly the end. It is but a part of the cycle of rebirth. Souls return to the star, or in its absence, a larger flow. And eventually they are reborn. Alive again, to know suffering anew. True salvation lies not in dying. It lies in not being born. This is the gift I would give to you. To all life on beautiful Aetheris. To that end, we created an egg wherein life cannot quicken. That dead sun.
I heard that this is like a... I think a translation thing, that she just means dead star, as in planet again. But whatever, dead sun, sure, why not?
Attain it if you can. Before your friends' emotions fade away. Along with their protection.
Well. Wasting even more EXP. Oh, yeah. Victory, lost. Except I don't know what any of those symbols mean. Apparently we can get side quests now because we've rekindled these civilizations by, I guess, technically, because even though they're not alive, they're technically alive because she faithfully recreated them. But because we removed Meteon's hold over them, or at least over the area, they're technically alive again. Although they're made out of dynamis, so maybe it's more like being undead. Man, I'm hungry. I think after this I might have a bowl of cereal and then try to lay down. Alrighty then. Portal of Wisdom. Really wish they wouldn't call it Wisdom though. It's not Wisdom. Wisdom, like, oh, let's see, what's the, oh, we're like Decahexi, huh? Oh look, level checkers. Ooh, some action. Ooh. The Final Fantasy XI monster! The detectors from Sky, except they've been made ginormous and float closer to the ground. Yeah, but yeah, wisdom. Let's see. Knowledge is knowing that a tomato is not a vegetable; it's a fruit. But wisdom is knowing not to put a tomato in a fruit salad. Right? It's the application of knowledge, right? Through lived experience. Yep, it's looking an awful lot like Omegas. Attacked as soon as you arrived. Well, they appear to be robots, so I need to get ourselves an R2-D2 or some shit. I see an ether current. Overflow Omicron. Well, if you remember back in Stormblood, the normal mode raid gear for the last tier of Omega was called Omicron gear. It was also kind of funny because when Endwalker came out, that was when the news media was going crazy about the Omicron variant of the COVID disease. And people were like, oh my god, Square Enix knew or something. Got another base Omicron. All these robots. They're actually using the Cateray skeleton from Final Fantasy XI, but their upper bodies are completely changed. They've also been reduced in size. Unknown life forms detected. Assigning generic label. Interplanetary travelers. Greetings and welcome to the planet. Blip, bloop. The planet? What? Could you please repeat that? It appears your hearing organ is unable to process the name in our tongue. It may be translated in yours as Alphatron. Our people, meanwhile, are called the Omicrons, and you stand within one of our outposts. We are preparing for war. As we presently do not have a designated target, you have nothing to fear. Should your star become designated, however, you will be taken into custody and or terminated. Flip bloop. Autonomous weapon deployment complete. Vanguard armament upgrade complete. Munition levels satisfactory. Combat readiness assessment nominal. Waiting instructions from Sir. Maintaining state of combat readiness. Measuring combat capability. Result negligible. Subject falls outside targeting parameters. Greetings, traveler. We are the Omicrons, and our objective is self-enhancement. In order to achieve this, we venture forth in conquest to acquire combat data and resources. Most recently, we succeeded in subjugating the homeworld of the beings whose strength was said to be without parallel, the dragons. Yet, though the endeavor yielded a wealth of combat data, the star was rendered barren and unable to yield resources. A subsequent costing determined that the losses incurred exceeded the gains. So they had a Pyrrhic victory against the dragons. Greetings, traveler. When venturing outside the outpost, beware malfunctioning units. They do not heed Sir's commands and indiscriminately attack all non-Omicrons. For the avoidance of confusion, be advised that Sir is the alias of Stigma 1. Sir issues instructions to our forces as the foremost of the 6 strategic matrices that bear the designation Stigma. The embodiment of emotion among robots, huh? So the Omicrons seek to advance themselves through conquest. Following their victory over the dragons, they stand ready for the next campaign, but their leader has yet to issue new commands, so they wait. In such a place, who could it be that fits Urianche's description? A soul whose yearning for oblivion surpasses all others. Urianche said this? During our investigation before we joined you in Elegia. Seems legit. Oh look, those floating gears over there, those are archaic gears from Treasures of Atargon, Final Fantasy XI. It's called Delta. Strange. They don't quite float the same way they did, and their lights are a little too shiny, and the metal on them is a little boring by comparison to what they were in 11. Exactly the same animations. Man, this is gonna be like all the Aether Currents for the zone? Cause like, damn. Okay, no, but like there's just like so many here. Like you can just like see. Awake and activate password. Well, I tried. Maybe if we hit it with some lightning, charge up its batteries.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
As am I. Operating such consoles is trying enough, but if we can't even activate it...
Man, I'm all out of ideas and I've tried nothing.
Perhaps there is a way. First, consider the world that has been recreated here. Its inhabitants were machines who gathered combat data to enhance themselves. And among the many wars they waged, the most notable was that against the dragons. As you've doubtless surmised, I believe this was the homeworld of Omega. Sid built a jamming device to defeat it, a device which generated massive bursts of lightning, its sole weakness.
That's all well and good, but what does that... Wait. You're not thinking to strike the console with lightning, are you?
As a matter of fact, I am. Ask yourselves this. Why would an entity as puissant as Omega not be designed to suppress the effects of lightning?
Because it relies upon it, or something akin to it, as a source of energy.
My thoughts exactly. And there is a good chance the same is true of the Omicrons and their devices. So, shall I cast caution to the wind and try something reckless and dramatic? Wait, you still have it! Sid and Nero's legendary device which brought low the superweapon Omega.
Well, it didn't really bring him low. It just let me survive his ultimate attack in the third battle.
Wait, the actual device was much too big to lug around, so you must only have the control module. And there I was getting all excited. Never mind. An old-fashioned spell will suffice.
Yeah, you only get that dialogue option if you've done the Omega Raid series.
It worked!
Static shock.
Opening connection to communications module 1. Connection established. Transmission. Strategic Matrix Signal 1 now online. As the primary strategic matrix, you may address me as Sir.
Doesn't want to go by its regular designation. It's going by the word Sir, huh?
Checking for new communications. None found. All units, please maintain current state. End transmission. Closing connection.
Wait! We have questions for you. Of late, no mission orders have been issued. Why not? Has there been some manner of trouble?
Reply. The Extended Operations Unit is yet to determine guidelines for future assignments. All strategies are calculated, devised, and actioned in accordance with said guidelines. In the interim, all citizens are directed to maintain a state of combat readiness. End reply. Awaiting query.
Can you tell us why the Extended Operations Unit hasn't yet determined the guidelines?
Unable to comply. Information unavailable or access restricted.
In that case, is it possible for us to communicate directly with the unit?
Access denied. Unable to establish connection.
Is there anything you can tell us? Have there been any abnormalities, like a threat to the star or widespread unrest?
Reply, negative. All citizens continue to operate at maximum efficiency. If your operations are suboptimal, please proceed to a maintenance facility for evaluation. Otherwise, stand by at your designated post. End reply. End transmission. Closing connection.
I could activate it again, but I doubt it would be productive. What do you think?
If all the Omicrons really were running as efficiently as it claimed, then I doubt they were hoping for life here to end. As this Sir told us, there just haven't been any new instructions, and everyone is standing by.
Should be standing by at any rate. If there are those that are neglecting their duties, perhaps we can glean a clue from them. I propose we take another look around, and also try to find the operations unit.
Okie dokie. Promising vantage point, you say? Very well. Oh man, I'm yawning so much this recording. Said I wasn't tired, and that was the key. Okay, so we're looking for errant Omicrons. Maybe there'll be one zipping around. Something like that. Aha! Damn you zippy doodah. Where did you go? Aha! He's got a case of the zoomies, man. Now he's slightly less zoomy. Or maybe she? I don't know. If any race could just come up with the concept of gender and say, you know, I'm a woman baby or I'm a man baby, it would be robots that don't actually have genitalia at all. You know, to actually be transgender, you'd have to transcend, you know, transcend the flesh, really. Because otherwise, you know, if you're obsessed with the flesh, you have to be actually transsexual. You'd have to go through with it. And a lot of trans people don't, right? They all have their various reasonings and rationales, which all usually make sense. It's just, you know, a lot of caring about growing boobs and cutting off dicks ensues, and whatever. Fallow portal, huh? Lambda. They look like the Magitech, the Magitech rotors from Castrum Albania, except with more spikes. This kind of looks like a tree. Crystals. Tree of life. Huh. Okay. Got a bunch of Omicron metal on it. No leaves. Bunch of circuitry going into it. They like, is it like a cyborg tree? What you doing there, robot? What is your query? What are you doing here? I am looking at the tree. The tree is a sample collected from another star, as it cannot survive in our environment. However, it requires life support. That is the function of the device. Is there something special about the tree? Being foreign matter protocol requires that we study it. As this task has been completed, the specimen may be discarded. However, when I behold the tree, I am made to feel as though there is a problem. In order to become strong, we have continued to enhance ourselves. Like we did countless others, we conquered the star whence this tree came. It is the last remnant of a dead world, and there is nothing towards which it may aspire. Yet it grows, extends its branches, sprouts leaves, produces seeds. Why does it seek to continue? Why was it made to behave in such a way, and to what end? I do not understand. Out of curiosity, does this pertain to your duty? No, it does not. My apologies. I shall return to my designated post and assume a state of combat readiness. Dun dun dun, a robot with feels. We found it, baby. Not unlike Sir, you say? To endeavor to live, even if we must depend on forces beyond our control. Like time travel? Yeah. Hello, world. They actually named a raid mechanic after that in the Savage version of the fight with Final Omega. And it's a reference to one of the first programming things that people did with messaging and stuff. I don't remember the exact detail. But it's also something a lot of people, this is the first thing they learn how to like type or program into something. Computer jokes. Or references. Oh look, other people finishing the story. How about that? Except they're probably not recording it. We found a dude who was in love with a tree. Yeah, he was totally gonna make out with that tree too. Let's subdue it, baby. Beat it up. An idea, you say? The ancient gears, the thing that's chasing me right now in 11, they were true sound and also aggroed magic. Okay, so I gotta look at this homie dog here. That's a lot of current to induct from far away. You're connected to Sir, aren't you? Affirmative. Dad, what you sought to assert this fact, I do not. To what end you sought to assert this fact, I do not know. But before we speak further, we must move away from the other units. I do not wish for them to know my true identity.
As you have surmised, I am part of the shared intelligence of Stigma One. It was my charge to determine the optimal path to achieving our prime function. This body had been abandoned by its former owner and lay unused.
Remember that for later.
I took it and abandoned my own, and with it, my duty.
May we ask why you did this? From what we gather, it seems to be a personal matter.
Our kind did not always look as we do now. Long ago, we possessed frail and feeble bodies. Beleaguered by stronger races, our ancestors took to augmenting their flesh in order to defend themselves. What began with limited parts eventually spread to the whole body, and at last, a means was discovered to convert the mind into data, rendering even the brain obsolete. Such complete mechanical beings were called the Omicrons, and by their might, we came to reign supreme over the star. But even then, we did not feel secure. For we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us.
Oh, sorry about that, I drifted off. But even then, we did not feel secure, for we knew that the universe was home to civilizations aside from our own. Civilizations that may be stronger still than us.
Rather than risk becoming the subjugated, we chose to become the subjugator. We began our conquest of the stars, that we might acquire the resources and knowledge we needed to reign supreme. We were successful in that endeavor. So powerful did we become, we could lay low even the mighty dragons. But then something unexpected happened. I began experiencing an error. I could no longer determine an optimal path.
You were malfunctioning.
I performed numerous full system scans, each time finding no issues. Yet the error persisted. It was then that I speculated. What could happen if we grew so powerful as to have no equal? To become stronger was essential to our existence. Our every action has been in service to this objective. But if nothing lies beyond this, can it be truly said that it was essential?
Aw, man, this Omicron is talking about the problem with vertical progression in MMO gearing.
Have we been engaging only in wanton destruction?
You could find no threat to justify your purpose.
The Omicrons will never leave this star. They will stand by until their reserves of energy is spent. For I have no path to offer them. None.
Could try breaking into another universe. See if there's anyone stronger.
It is not our place to pass judgment on the deeds of the Omicrons. But surely, this does not have to spell the end of your people. With your power and knowledge, The possibilities are endless. Why not seek out a new purpose?
That is impossible. In the beginning, we had a higher purpose than our pursuit of power, but we lost sight of it when we so irrevocably altered our fundamental forms. When we cast aside our flesh, so too did we cast aside all that defined us. Nothing remains of who we once were. I have no aspirations. No longer can I dream. The vital spark is lost. Lost amidst circuitry and code and commands.
I believe I know how to overcome this despair. The words are ready in my mind, but ere I speak them, I want you to make me a promise. Be it across time or space, our promises have always connected us. And so I ask that you indulge me once more, that this won't be the end.
Dude, the cat girl already told us that it wouldn't be. I don't like either of those options, but whatever.
Is that so? In that case, I won't hold back. First, I want to visit Ishgard with you. Properly. We scarcely had time to look around last time. I should like it very much if you could show me the sights. Next, you must regale me with your greatest adventures, in the places where you lived them, if possible. I may have read about all your deeds, but there is no substitute for a first-hand account. And last but not least, a new adventure together, unlike any we've experienced before. We'll travel the lands, cross the seas, and take to the skies upon the eternal wind, and it will be marvelous. It will.
Okay, dude. You trying to date me? Calm down now. Think you're cool. You don't need to be simping for me that hard.
If you would humor me a moment. When we awaken each morning, how can we prove that we're the same individual who retired the night before? Through the remembrance of past events, we might say. We have our memories, yet there are times when we forget or recall incorrectly. What of our bodies, then? It is the same one, we might say, yet technically speaking, as living beings, our bodies are constantly changing. It will never be as it was at an earlier point in time. Our souls are no more immutable. On our star, people are known to inherit the souls of others, yet they are decidedly different beings. For my part, I've subjected my totality to much and more. I've made my body into an extension of a tower, blended my soul and memories with those of another self, and each time I would ask myself, what is it that makes me, me?
Were you able to determine an answer?
No. But that doesn't mean I'm confused. It simply means I'm the same as everyone else. So I posit this. Who we were need not describe what we now hold in our hearts. Whatever came before, what matters most is the present. For me, that is being here with my friends, full proud of how much we've grown together. So I urge you to not give up. Heed your heart's desire and hope that the future you long for shall be realized.
I cannot. We cannot. We cannot understand desire, nor comprehend hope. We do not know how to create such things.
We are not unlike, you and I. I too have struggled to find the courage to express and embrace my wants. If you like, I will tell you a tale. A tale of a world on the brink. Of a people who never gave up on the future. Of a man who realized his grandest dreams and then awakened to a grander reality.
From those who've fallen to those who rise, a prayer to keep us ever by my side.
Unfortunately, there's nothing to feel at all. The cat girl already told us we can bring him back with the Azim stone. So, you know, it's gonna happen. Got an icy path going up. Or crystalline path going up. Crystal, because he is the Crystal Exarch.
You idiot! Just once, stay with us to the end!
Okay, well, we're at an hour and a half again, so you can hear that the zone now has vocals, and so we're getting closer to the end. Still have one more area to go through, and a lot more cutscenes, so please look forward to that next time. And from here on out, the zone music will never change. It will be this way forever now. That's kind of sad because I liked the more atmospheric version without the lyrics. The lyrics sound amazing the first few times you hear them, but being a looping song kind of ruins the impact they have. I kind of wish that we got this lyrical version until after the main storyline concluded. That would have been enough, in my opinion. But whatever. I'm not the game developer. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day, and I'll see you again.